Well, it was meeting day. Las Vegas, meet the Oakland A's. Oakland A's, meet Las Vegas.
You are Locked On A's, your daily Oakland A's podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Get on in here. It's time for another episode of Locked On A's. I am Wayne Coy, lifetime A's fan from the city of Oakland, 74th and Mac, and a longtime Bay Area morning radio dude. Now spending my days in Las Vegas, where it gets more interesting by the day. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first choice every single day to listen to every single day. It's nice to have you make us your first listen. And of course, we want you to know that we are free and available, but don't hold that against us. Anywhere you find a podcast, you can find us, including YouTube, which is really cool. In fact, if you're on YouTube, take this moment just to say thank you for watching. And don't forget to hit that like button so that everybody can know, first of all, that you got great taste in podcasts. Secondly, it helps grow the channel, so we totally appreciate that. Subscribe, of course, so that you will never, ever miss an episode, and we appreciate that. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. And right now, how about this? A $5 money line bet for a new customer. If you win, you get $150 in bonus bets. You get that from FanDuel. Check them out. It's FanDuel.com/lockedon, and you'll be able to get that deal. Easy to download the app and start winning today with FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Well, today it was all about Preview Las Vegas. And boy, this is always a big party. The Chamber of Commerce in Vegas puts it on every year. They say that their annual attendance is somewhere around 1,200, 1,400 people. I was there today. I have proof. I came, I saw, I did my thing. I can't tell you that it was that many people because I'm horrible at looking at a crowd and telling you how many people are there. Silly me. I'm the guy who looks at the Aviators games crowds and thinks that there's 5,000 people there. And then I find out later it's 12. Anyway, I'm not good at that. So we'll just tell you there were a bunch of people there. Okay. And where is there? Well, it was the Fountainbleau. I'd never been there before. It's the brand new member of that end of the strip. It'd be the north end over there by Resorts World. And of course, Circus is down there. And you got the Strat there. And the newest neighbor, Fountainbleau. Been built for a long time. They finally finished it up after COVID and changing of hands and all that. Beautiful place. It's huge. I kind of got a little bit lost actually today, but nice to finally get in there and to get to the main event, which as far as I was concerned was this conversation with A's leadership. That's how it was pre-promoted. I told you yesterday that I thought, and I even used the word assumed, I assumed it would be Dave Kaval, president of the A's. And you know what they say about assuming? You were in high school football. You remember. Well, it's true because it wasn't Dave Kaval. It was Oakland A's owner, John Fisher, the now all of a sudden not so shy guy who's finding his way in front of a camera like every time you turn around now. This is a dude who none of us saw for all those years where he was owning the team. And then all of a sudden, just in the last, 5 or 6 months since things have heated up or cooled off, depending on your perspective, in Las Vegas, we see him a lot. So kind of getting used to that. So let's dive right in and tell you how it was. First of all, this was all a Q&A. There were no audience questions. This was a Q&A with Chamber CEO Mary Beth Seawald. Now, she was there to ask the questions, and I'll let you be the judge as to whether or not those were tough, grilling type of questions, or if they were relatively softballs. You'll make up your own mind. Here you go.
Well, John Fisher, thank you so much for being with us today. I am so thrilled to have you on the Preview Las Vegas stage. And may I be the first to publicly welcome you and the A's to Las Vegas. Welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
I know that you've done just a tremendous amount of work to make this happen. And I know that your family is very passionate about baseball. And really, baseball is kind of the fabric of our community, really. It's the fabric of America. I told you a story a little earlier about sitting on the porch with my grandfather watching or listening. We didn't have a television. We were listening to radio, KMOX radio in St. Louis, and Jack Buck was calling the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals, you know? And then Sibley Scholes, Sibley didn't tell you guys this, but Sibley's parents at ages 15 and 17 actually met at an A's baseball game. I mean, what does it mean to you to hear stories like that, knowing your family's engagement in baseball, but then also to be coming to a world-class destination like Las Vegas?
Well, thanks, MB. First, it's a real pleasure to be here. I don't normally get this opportunity to speak in front of so many people, and although I did get to give the Father of the Bride speech last Sunday, but it was a slightly smaller crowd. But it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks to you, thanks to the Chamber for having us and being such great hosts for the A's coming to Vegas. My connection to baseball goes way back. My grandfather on my dad's side was actually a bat boy when he was, I think, 5 years old, and I have a picture of him with sort of the minor league players around him. And my grandparents started taking my brothers and me to Giants games at Candlestick when we were, very, very young. So the connection to baseball, as you described, is something that really brings all generations together, brings families together, and it's a lot of fun. It's a whether you win or you lose, the great thing about baseball is we play so many games that there's always a game the next day to make up for that loss, or to not enjoy the victory for too long.
Yeah. Well, I know it's been a lot of work for you and your team, and a lot of folks here in Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada. Give us a little bit of a lay of the land. What's the status of the team, and what are you in the process of right now?
So actually, yesterday we had a meeting with our general contractors, Mortensen McCarthy, as well as our designer and the Arca Ingalls group, and HNTB, which was the architect of Allegiant, or one of the architects of Allegiant, and so we're moving at speed, trying to move into this design phase, and so that we can hopefully open our ballpark in 2028.
Yeah, and we're counting the days till 2028, and I know that there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, but I guess I would ask too, we watched the videos of Las Vegas. We were just back there commenting and watching the videos, and it's kind of surreal to see all of the things that happen here in Las Vegas. What made you select Las Vegas in the first place?
I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. I grew up in California in the Bay Area, and my understanding of Las Vegas was similar to a lot of tourists' understanding, that it was all about the Strip. But then when I started coming back here and really getting to know the community and spending time off the Strip, whether it be downtown or out at Summerlin or Henderson or other communities in and around Las Vegas, I think what got me most excited was actually the strength of the local market. And because it's something that not everybody from outside Las Vegas understands or appreciates. But there's 2.3 million people here. It feels like all of them are baseball fans, which is a really great thing. Little League is a huge part of this community. and just seeing how the other professional sports teams, whether it be the Aces and the Raiders or the Golden Knights, the degree of local support has just been incredible. I've been to a couple of Golden Knights games, and I couldn't even hear myself talk over the excitement from what was a predominantly local group of fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so there you go. That's kind of the first 10 minutes or so of the interview with John Fisher today at the Fountainbleau in Las Vegas. It went on from there. The whole interview ran about 18 to 20 minutes or so. Fisher answering the questions. He didn't dodge anything. He pretty much went. Well, let's show you the very end. This is how it all ended.
We've seen how Raiders players, Aces players, and also Golden Knights players have been so welcomed into the community, and how they have welcomed the community as well. This is a great place for people to live. It's very affordable in some places, and so I think that we're excited about the ability for our players to really embrace this community and vice versa.
Well, and speaking of,
I didn't know if he was actually talking about where the players were going to be living and it would be affordable for them, or if he meant for him. I don't know, but I would say, well, I'll tell you what. At the very end, the hype was put to the audience to find out, if people were just way into what they just saw, and I'll let you be the judge of that.
The Las Vegas A's. We like the sound of that, right, Vegas? Yeah? Yes? Are we alive back there, Las Vegas? How we feeling?
I don't know if alive would be the word you'd want to use. There was a guy with emphysema next to me and some people, as you could tell, walking in front of me. Sorry for the grainy video, but yeah, not so much. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of another famous moment in history.
I won't trash talk. I won't be a divider-in-chief or an agitator-in-chief. I won't be out there blowharding, talking a big game without backing it up. I think the next president needs to be a lot quieter, but send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap. One final point, and it really...
I won't be out there blowharding. Please clap. Jeb Bush, John Fisher, making the parallel here. Okay, what's up with eBay Motors? That's probably what was on your mind, even more so than what did John Fisher have to say. I know. Passion, drive, patience. That's what brings home the winning trophy at the end of the day. And it's also what keeps your ride or die. It's a cool way to talk about your car. Alive. eBay Motors, you've heard of them. They have everything that you need to maintain your vehicle. Yes, they do. And they level it all up to peak performance, from superchargers and roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and so much more. And right now, whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has 100% got you covered. With over 122 million parts, they have what you need. In fact, you're always going to find exactly what you're looking for at eBay Motors. And with eBay Motors Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit, thus the name, every time, okay? Or your money back, which is important. Because with eBay Motors, you know what's happening? You're burning rubber, not cash. And with all the parts that you need at the prices you want, well, it's pretty easy to turn your car into the real MVP at the end of the game. Bring home that trophy with eBay Motors and find them online at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Sorry, English. Sorry, Sweden. Sorry, Russia. So back to John Fisher and the underwhelming response. I'm telling you what, maybe, well, let's play that again, just in case you're wondering.
The Las Vegas A's. We like the sound of that, right, Vegas? Yeah? Yes? Are we alive back there, Las Vegas? How we feeling?
Yeah, not so much. But John Fisher thought that he did just fine.
How's it feel to be here in Las Vegas, and your thoughts with the A's coming to town with this presentation and the chamber doing what they did, first of all?
I mean, it feels great. There's a lot of people out there, and having an opportunity to tell our story is really, I think, what we're all about. And you know, the more people we can connect with, I think the greater the adoption is going to be by the community, and the greater, you know, the success we'll have here.
How quickly will we see the renderings? When are those going to be coming out?
Well, you know, we had plans to release the renderings in December, and unfortunately, you know, with the tragedy that occurred here, we postponed that. Since then, we've been working with Bally's and GLPI, who are sort of two of our partners on the Tropicana site, to try and see if we can, instead of just releasing our renderings by themselves, be able to release our renderings along with the planned resort that is going to be on that. So that's something that we're going through, and that, you know, takes time. And so we'll release our renderings when it's the right time to do so.
What about the funding for the stadium? Can you give us any report on that?
Sure. You know, we anticipate that the stadium will cost, you know, perhaps close to $1.5 billion. That will be funded mostly with equity from my family. We'd actually like to, you know, consider raising capital, especially from local investors, because we think that creates a connection to the community that has, you know, we've seen that with a lot of other teams, been a really successful thing, and with a little bit of debt.
You mentioned on stage that you're going to be entering the design phase. With that being said, is that referring to the renderings and that resort that you were just mentioning before you actually release them all?
Yeah, I mean, it's called schematic design, and it's when the architects actually get past just the conceptual part of your planning to actually, you know, drawing the lines, figuring out where everything is going to go, and making sure that that other than just the pretty pictures that you see, that this is, you know, actually going to be reality.
Does it include a retractable roof?
You know, we'll find out when the renderings come out here.
Where will the Athletics play in the interim between after this season from Oakland?
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys have probably read where we have been. You, I think, you know, told a lot of people where we had been as well. Thank you. And so, you know, we're looking at our options right now. We haven't made a choice. You know, we hope to do so relatively soon, but we're looking at different options.
Summerlin is one of the options, I would assume?
We're not going to, you know, I'm not going to be specific about where we're looking and where we're not. We think the ballpark in Summerlin is a tremendous asset and a great place. So, but we haven't actually made a choice yet.
It's still set to be at the Tropicana Hotel. I mean, at the Tropicana Hotel ballpark. I've heard rumors of it may be moving. Is it still set to be there?
The ballpark? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, certainly.
Gotcha.
Is it still slated to begin on schedule, construction? Is there any hiccups that have come up with maybe when the initial construction we can expect it to begin?
We hope so. I've spent enough time in real estate to know that nothing ever goes completely in a straight line. But, you know, we are, I think, working really well together with our partners. We have a tremendous team, having Bjarke Ingels, who we think is one of the greatest architects in the world, designing our stadium, working with HNTB, which is one of the great sports architecture firms and architecture firms in the world, and the work that they've done in Vegas, having Mortensen McCarthy as our contractors who have had a lot of success here in Las Vegas. You know, we think we have a great team of people to help make this reality.
John, you talked about wanting to hit town in 2028, if that is when you actually open here.
with a competitive team, a good team. You talked out there about the importance of that.
Yes.
What is your timeline now? Because right now you have the lowest payroll. Apparently you're going to have to be building. What's the plan? Timeline?
So look, successful teams go through rebuilding periods, and it is a reality in all sports that to maintain excellence requires periods where you need to build up your youth and you need to see some of your other players, some of your best players leave. And we believe that by coming to Las Vegas, we're going to be able to get out of this idea that the A's have to let their best players go prematurely. That's a goal. That's been our goal since the very beginning, since we were working on a new stadium in the Bay Area, and now that we're working on this stadium here in Las Vegas, is to have a sufficient payroll that will allow us to, again, keep the players who are, building their careers in Summerlin at the Aviators and have them stay with the A's for a very long period of time. The team, I'll just say one other thing, sorry. Sure. Teams like, Houston, Baltimore have sort of demonstrated that you can have tremendous long-term success following periods where your team is not performing as well.
I just want to ask, John, in the interim, because you probably won't be playing full-time here until 2028, what will the A's be doing in between 2024 and 2028? Will you be, obviously you have spring training games here, but is there what other areas will you be able to keep the team involved here?
That's actually a great question, I think our goal, we've already started our community benefits work in Las Vegas, as I mentioned on the screen. Supporting every Little League team in the state is a really important thing for us to do. If we can get our players to start connecting with the community and other people in the organization, we think that that's a really important thing for us to be doing. So I think it's a really good point that between now and when we open, we want to be very visible.
What's your message to Bay Area fans who can't be happy about losing the baseball team? A message for them?
I grew up in the Bay Area. I started out as a Giants fan before we bought the A's. There's no words that I can say that are going to make people at home who are really upset about the team leaving feel better about the team or about me. All I can do is say I gave everything I had to try and make things work, and we're very excited to be coming to Las Vegas, and this is where our new home is going to be.
All right. So I took some notes because that's what you do. In case you missed some of that, just to recap, John Fisher meeting the press after today's event at the Fountainbleau in Las Vegas. He said that he thought that it all went great and that he was very well received, or that it was very well received, or that they were very well received, meaning the A's, meaning his presentation, meaning the whole thing. Okay. He also said that the renderings aren't ready yet, that they're now going back to the drawing board to add in the resort so they can show you the resort and the stadium, not just the stadium. Okay. That they don't have the funding really all together yet. Kind of admitted that. Of course, they have the $380 million in public funds. He says that his family is going to be investing to a degree, that they have equity. That was his word. And that he's wide open to, little local love. Anybody want to drop something in the hat there? Go ahead. Local investors. He said, I think that that works in certain markets, and maybe we'd be open to that, meaning I need it. Okay. And then he actually said, he sort of mumbled. You may have heard it. Maybe you didn't catch it at the end. But after he said equity and fundraise, he said, and a little bit of debt. Yeah, he kind of threw that in at the end. But yeah, there'll be some debt to be serviced. Who's going to service it? Where's it going to come from? I'm not quite sure. I don't even know if they know, but we'll find out. He did say that the Tropicana site is still the site. That's where they intend to be. Of course, the SB1 that was passed is, again, site-specific. So to get the money from the state, you got to be there at Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard unless they're able to go back to the drawing board and kind of redo the whole thing again. And I don't know the ins and outs of that or the legalities, so we'll just have to wait and see there. He was asked about the retractable roof. He said he can't really say anything about that. He was asked about where they're going to play in 2025, 26, 27, if they're going to open here in 2028. He said he can't really talk about that either, but that he will. Said they are in the design phase. Did admit who the architect was. And I know there's been speculation there, but it's Bjarke Ingels and also HMTB, who were involved with Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play. And that Mortensen McCarthy, which we already knew, are the contractors. Oh, he did also say that he's a Giants fan, grew up in the Bay Area and was a Giants fan, if you didn't already know that. Probably pretty important to you if you look for subtext to know that he and his entire family pretty much have supported the Giants the entire time, even though he owns the A's now. Guess he's an A's fan. He also said that no words he can say will make you feel better about him. I'm sure you have some words you'd like to say, and you can put those in the comment section down below if you want. Love to hear what you think. But yeah, he said that. And then he said, no, I didn't actually say that. I was waiting for it, though. All right, so that's John Fisher. All of a sudden, gadfly, man about town, never met a camera he didn't like. Sure, you want to put a microphone in my face? I'm ready for you. I do have to tell you that he is not as awkward as he was during those interviews earlier this year. So maybe he's getting a little bit comfortable there, but, call him as you see him, right? Hey, we got something that we want to tell you about. It's pretty cool. It is a brand new, first of its kind, 24/7, 365-day streaming network. That's right. We got that going on. It's called Locked On Sports Today. And you get your baseball, of course, but also football. My man Q taking care of you when it comes to the Raiders. He's the Locked On Raiders guy, but you'll see Q, you'll see me from time to time, and just people from all over the country who've got their own Locked On, Locked Down. And if there's a story there, bam, you get the coverage. That's the way that works. Got your finger right on the pulse of everything that's happening sports-wise. Locked On Sports Today. Love it so much, we're going to actually send you over there here in just a couple minutes. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Again, the comment section is there for a reason. Certainly like to know what you think. Again, appreciate you being here, making us your first listen every day. It's Locked On Sports, your team every day. And of course, Locked On A's. My pleasure always to let you know what's going on. So that's it for John Fisher's visit to Vegas. Really thought we were going to see Dave Kaval. I did see him, or at least somebody who looked exactly like him. But no questions, and certainly no time on stage. But, the team owner was there, so that's pretty cool. So that's what we got for you this time. Next time, who knows? I think we're going to get back into some of what's going on organizationally with these players as we get ready to talk about spring training here pretty soon. We'll go position by position and see kind of where we are now, mid to end of January versus where we might be coming up very soon in February and March when, S gets real, because it will. And pitching, pitching is the name of the game, right? All right, I'm Wayne Coy. Thank you for being here. Do appreciate it big time. Hope you'll be around next time. And until then, you keep on swinging.